in mind, we go to Mr. Mars, who has this week's auto history.
A nice segue. Nice segue.
There you go, buddy.
We're going to start with 1885. Paul Daimler, son of Gottlieb Daimler, drove the Wright wagon, which is considered the world's first motorcycle. Now, this is important because this is a wooden two-wheeler. It was powered by a single-cylinder internal combustion engine, and it's considered actually the birth of motorized personal transports that actually spawned where we are all the way up into the motorcycle and the automotive engineering world. Now, moving up to 1908, and it's just fascinating in the early 1900s, the way these companies buy and sell that are monsters these days. General Motors acquired Oldsmobile. Now, this is what started General Motors' expansion strategy and started buying all these smaller companies to get their patents and get some of the things that they've done because they were competing against Ford. Ford was the king of the world at the time. Now, back in 1909, Louis Chevrolet, he was won the inaugural 200-mile stock chassis race at Atlanta. He was driving a Buick, and he was driving a Buick whenever he done this. Now, this established Chevrolet as a talented driver and an engineer, and it helped popularize the Buick name so that he could start developing that brand as well as his Chevrolet. Then in 1914, the first Dodge car rolls off the assembly line. Now, this was in Hamtramck. How do you say that?
Hamtramck.
Yeah, I knew that. Michigan. And this is the Dodge brothers' transition from being a parts supplier to a lot of companies like Ford and becoming full automakers. Now, this car was nicknamed the Old Betsy. And it was just to help put Dodge on the map and becoming a serious competitor in America's growing automotive market. Like I say, early 1900s have become fascinating. November the 11th, 1928, Studebaker, two Studebaker presidents, that's the car model, they averaged 85 miles an hour during a 24-hour run to prove the reliability and the stamina of the car. Now, this became an ongoing thing for their advertising and their crash test before crash testing existed to show how well they should, why they should buy a Studebaker. Then in 1960, Robert McNamara becomes the first Ford president. Now, they appointed him, making him the first non-family member to lead the automaker. Now, he was one of the famed whiz kids. Apparently, there was a lot of people inside Ford that were grouped together that came up with these ideas like the Mustang, and they were all just considered this group in there. And he became the one to modernize Ford's management systems because they moved away from the family instead of having all that family stuff going on. And he was actually the one, if you might recall him, actually became the U.S. Secretary of Defense later on in his life.
Yeah, he was involved in politics.
Mary Barra's daddy.
Yeah.
It was it?
No.
Oh, okay. 1940, Willys-Overland delivers the Jeep prototype. Now, this is the quad prototype that the U.S. Army bought and really turned in after World War II, became the rugged and versatile and easy to maintain post-war civilian favorite because the guys came home from the war, they drove them, they liked them, they were easy to work on, and still to this day, you can get a Wrangler that's based on that design. 1965, Craig Breedlove breaks the 600-mile barrier. Now, he did this at Utah's Bonneville Salt Flats, and his vehicle is called the Spirit of America. It's a jet car, and he went to 600.601 mile per hour. And this has been an ongoing thing, setting benchmarks for performance design and aerodynamics. And it inspired a lot of high-speed innovators. And basically, everybody still goes to Bonneville to get their world speed record.
Yep.
Great movie called The Fastest Indian about Bonneville. You should check it out.
Okay.
General Motors, 1996, delivered the first EV1 electric car.
Thing. Somebody needs to just mash that out of existence.
And they didn't sell it. It went to people had to lease it. And again, the first automaker that really get into the EV1.
But that won an award. Did you know that? Called the ugliest award.
Yes, yeah. Anyway, so this was led. That's some of the early EV attempts that General Motors made, and that was this week in automotive history.
You know, he's mentioned Hamtramck. That is a large Polish community.
Hamtramck.
Hamtramck, yeah. A lot of good food there too.